We're nearing the end of our session here, and I just want to highlight that this is, the highlight or the quintessential piece of our training here today. Practice is important. It is often overlooked, but it's such an important step, and it can make all the difference when it comes to maximizing engagement with students. We are finding that creating at least one opportunity to work through your content will help you find your level of comfort and can provide you an opportunity to adjust your content if needed. Recognizing that some of these opportunities, whether they be virtual or in person, might be time limited. This is a great way for you to kind of work through your content, find what's comfortable, and make sure that you're aligning all of your efforts to maximize student engagement and success. And of course, I'd like to offer that BoSTEM, and the BoSTEM team is a resource here for you. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us should you seek any feedback, support with planning, or just need some ideas, suggestions to help you get started. We are absolutely here as a resource. So pitfalls for engagement. We talked a lot about maximizing student engagement, but pitfalls of engagement is definitely a reality for us here. And I don't want to spend too much time here, but I just want to highlight that there are just a few elements when it comes to engagement with students that volunteers to kind of go down a rabbit hole per se. So to avoid those rabbit holes, just want to kind of contextualize what some of those experiences might feel like generally. So when working with students, we recognize that that tone or the manner in which the content is delivered totally matters, right? It's one thing to have the intention of walking into a space, but bringing that energy related that connects to that intention is equally important. We recognize that the term professional and volunteer is very intimidating for students in the middle school age ranges, but then also on the flip end for you as a volunteer, recognizing that the word student can kind of communicate, missed messages about the competency or knowledge level for the audience that you're going to work with. And so recognizing that this is an opportunity to work together and not dictate with other human beings is a great way to kind of enter the space with a clear mind, understanding that if you create opportunities for students to add or contribute to the discussion or to the lesson provides more engagement as opposed to feeding information to students, right? Being the one standing in front of the room, pointing at a whiteboard and just rattling off information, as opposed to working with students to kind of answer questions or kind of really explore or poke at specific concepts or things to that degree. Perspective is another pitfall in engagement that we have seen coming into the opportunity with a general or really overarching perspective can limit engagement with students. So we are finding that the more personal your experience or your share out is with students, the better. This provides students an opportunity to witness difference in experiences, even if within the same industry, then also providing opportunities for students to connect with particular stories or elements of particular stories so that they can kind of create the narrative for their career pathway. But again, perspective is another piece that we are finding to be a pitfall. So the more you can lean towards the personal experience and less to the societal kind of stereotypical perspectives, the better. And lastly, the preparations. So we recognize that preparations can fall into one of two experiences. You can have the expectation of what you prepared to turn out wonderfully, and then there's a reality of what it actually is. So to help you mitigate your experience of pitfall with engagement, recognizing that students are unpredictable. Students have questions on their minds, they have moods and attitudes that all come into play. So when recognizing the development slide that I mentioned earlier, this does call for a very unpredictable experience. However, we are asking for volunteers to stay flexible in that they prepare their material to have alternatives, to have plan Bs, just to be ready in case something does happen so that you can have things to eat up time. Maybe a student works through something really quickly, and so you can provide them an additional activity or lesson or challenge. Again, just having something available so that you can stay flexible. And then lastly, practicing. I know this is getting at the reality piece when it comes to preparation. Having the expectation that you'll end on time or that everything that you have prepared is great to the point and will definitely get at the goals is one thing, but then to actually experience it and walk through it before the day of is definitely a great way to mitigate a pitfall with engagement. And so giving you that opportunity to work out any kinks, to identify, where you might have too much content, where you can cut back, where you can add in if you don't have enough. All these are an opportunity for you to kind of make those adjustments, but creating this opportunity with intention will definitely help maximize engagement when working with students.